that. I think Jim and Stu, cartoon character superheroes, their bodies probably have no aches in them whatsoever. All their
They are much
plumbing and
cooler.
parts work.
They are much cooler, I will say.
Awesome. So Stu, what day is it? It's
Wednesday, hump day, mobility day. That's what I call it.
I sent Stu a picture last year of on a Wednesday. I went to the animal rescue in Aruba and I was feeding the camel and I was like, take my picture so I can send it to Stu. Hey Stu, what day is it? It's hump day. It was funnier then. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So this month has been paid training month. How to deliver paid trainings, how to create paid trainings. We released the dynamic PowerPoint presentation that helps you to create amazing PowerPoints really, really fast. We have also released a bunch of Genie prompt packs related to that and other stuff. It's been a hell of a month, Stu. Hell of a month.
That it has, Jim.
We've been doing some cool stuff. However, there was one other thing that I wanted to go over this month to kind of round everything out. And that was helping people to understand best practices for creating engagement. Because let me ask you this, Stu. I know you've never done this, so I don't expect that you'll be able to answer this for me. But have you ever bought a book or a class and then not read it or gone through it completely?
No, I don't think.
You've never bought a book you didn't read?
Oh, yes, I have done that, but
Okay. Have you ever paid for a class you didn't finish?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm
I
kind of
have.
nerdy. I'm kind of nerdy like that.
Okay. Well, you're the perfect customer then. I shouldn't have started being your friend. I should have
Well,
recruited you to be a customer.
I will say
Um,
this: I can sit and listen to people doing it right all day long. It's just me implementing everything. That's the challenge for me. Watching them do it's not the hard part.
right. And that's really that's the key. So if you go to the other side of that with you as the presenter, as the person who is delivering the training, as the person who is selling the training and trying to help your customers get a result, because that's what we talked about, was the whole thing you're saying, you're not selling training, you're selling a result.
Right.
And we talked about how you got to get people engaged. You got to have a big idea. You got to have a big payoff that they buy into, and we got to get them results in the first 10 minutes. So I will admit, I've bought tons of books that I have not finished. Some I haven't even started. I've bought training with all the intention of the world of going through it and never even cracked it. And I think as opposed to stuff that I get engaged in quickly, that's the stuff that actually gets something done. That's the stuff that we actually do. So I thought it would be fun for us to go over, say, the top 10 tips for creating engagement before, during, and after a paid event. Because I'll tell you this too.
Good idea.
It cuts down on your refunds too. Now we have a real low refund rate, but anything above 0 is pissing me off.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. I know some people that have refund rates around 25%. That's because your training sucks or you suck as a human.
Or how about this? You get the email of like, hey, I'm trying to reduce my whatever footprint, digital footprint. Can you take my name off the email list? I'm like, can't you just click unsubscribe? Leave me out of this.
Yeah. If you'll send me the last email you got, I will click the unsubscribe button at the bottom, because those are the people using 5 different emails.
Right.
So they're like, they change emails like they change underwear, or maybe they change their emails more than they change their underwear because they stink. but I thought it'd be fun. So let me ask you before we go into this, just instinctively, Stu,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to do quiz Stu. Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. What's up, C Ray? What's up, Mary? Um, what would you say would be the top? You've delivered training. You've done this, so I'm not asking you out of the blue. What would you say would be the top ways to increase engagement, increase participation, increase people just getting going with the training instead of passively absorbing it? I'd love to get your thoughts before we dive into my thoughts for a lively
Mm.
discussion and then an amazing interview. I mean,
Well,
amazing demo
yeah,
at the
well,
end.
that's cool. Well, let's start off right from the start. You
Okay.
need a really cool superhero intro, cartoon style,
Okay. So a cool intro, a hook. You need a
a
hook.
hook. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. How else could we? How else, if you were doing a paid training, would you think to increase engagement, people participating, getting results, actually taking some actions?
I actually, the way I do it is I open up all of my live podcasts, turn them
Uh-huh.
into Q&As, and people are asking questions. So I
Okay.
immediately, right after my intro, I say, while you guys congregate on here, I'm going to talk about this topic, but start thinking about your questions, put them in the comment section, and I will answer them personally.
Okay. So that's a great one, and you can do it at the beginning of the training. You can also do that before the training. That's something that
Mm.
there was a thing back in the day we used to do called an ask campaign. And I even had a piece of software that helped you do it, but you would send it out 24 hours ahead of time, or you would even do it before you were planning on promoting the training. So you go out and you say, hey, I'm putting the finishing touches on a training I'm going to be doing on XYZ. I'm going to be putting the finishing touches on a training I'm going to be doing on, how to how to get a seal contract. I'll just throw that out there. Okay.
Right.
And to make sure I don't miss anything, can you tell me what your most burning question is about getting a seal contract? And then this is long before the days of AI when you could ask, what would be the main FAQs that people would have? And then people would ask questions and then you use the questions to structure the training.
Ah.
Also, what it does though is it gets people, oh man, that sounds cool. I would like to, that sounds like something I'd be interested in. So it's a way to start selling without selling, because I'm telling you, but I can't sell it right now because I'm putting the finishing touches on it. And you can also reward people for asking the question by saying, now I've seen people using this to make an ebook and they'll tell people, hey, if you ask a question, I'll give you a copy of the ebook. I mean, that's how you pay people for their time. That's how you got a whole bunch of people to raise their hand, ask questions. But what you're really doing is using that to build a list to sell them other stuff. And the ebook wasn't a 200-300 page ebook. It was usually like a 50-page report type thing, which is fine. But that was a way, that's still a legit way to get people to raise their hand, say, I'm really interested in this topic. They're interested enough to actually ask a question, and then you're segmenting them on your list. So that is still a very
Yeah,
legitimate strategy.
I like that.
Because I mean, if you're one of those super lazy chuckleheads, you could get people to give you a whole bunch of questions. You wouldn't even have to read the questions. You take the list of questions, hand it to AI, and said, "Here's a bunch of questions I got from people on this topic. Go ahead and go through it, deduplicate the questions, organize them into a logical order for me to answer them." And then once you got that, you start feeding them into AI to have AI answer the questions, and then you create the report that you then turn around and you've built the list. That was like we're just going to stop right there. There's your $1 million tip for the week, and we'll be done.
I like
Okay.
that one, Jim. That's a good one.
So, encouraging questions, whether it's at the beginning of the training or before the training even starts. That's a great one. Okay. What else? Stu's like, dude, I gave you my best. Don't ask me for
No,
any
I
more.
got others, Jim. I got others.
Okay.
They're
Let's
they're
hear.
coming. All right,
Okay.
so I do this fun one. and I do a giveaway, right? And I say, if I use the word ageless, be the first person to write book, and I will send you this book. When you hear the word ageless,
Oh shit.
I will send you this book for free.
As long as you live in the contiguous continental United
Right,
States.
yeah. If you live out of country, sorry. I'll send you the ebook.
Okay. Um that's amazing. Um and that would be a great way to make people actually fricking be on a hair trigger,
And listen.
hanging on every single word. That's diabolical, man. I like it.
It works. It works. Sometimes I give away 3 or 4 of them in a show.
I love that. I was in Australia speaking. It's got to be over 20 years ago, and I was speaking on stage. There were probably, I don't know, say 750 people in the audience, and I had a copy of one of my courses, and I held it up and I was saying, this is what I've done with audio courses and CDs and stuff, and I was selling a thing on how to do that. I didn't want to take the thing home. I didn't want to pack the thing up and take it home. So I said, hey, first person to come up here, you can have it. Dude, that was a mistake because the people were flipping over the tables in the front row to try and get up there to get this thing for free. And I was genuinely scared. A guy jumped off the table and flew onto the stage to get it. And I handed it to him, but I was like, I will never do that again.
Yeah.
But you could do it.
Damn.
You could do it here. Digitally, it's easy to prove who put it in first,
Right.
but you'll get some asshat that's like typing it in, and anyway, it's fun.
Yeah. Every now and then I do. I get that.
I do like that though.
It's a fun one.
That's a really good one. What else you got? These are good. They're probably better than what I got. We'll just do Stu's today.
Let me see. What else do I do? Oh, I ask questions. So I like, hey, I need to write an article today. Give me a topic. What do you want me to write about? And we'll talk a little bit about it while we're here.
I like it.
I usually start it off with like, hey, I'm having a little bit of writer's block. I got an article due this afternoon. What do you want me to write about?
And some smart ass will say,
2 birds with 1 stone there. Yeah.
Just ask AI. I like that. That's cool. I like that a lot, actually.
And then I usually leave them with a challenge also.
Okay. Is
like,
that at the end?
Yeah, usually at the end, I try to challenge them with, all right, like an accountability challenge. At the end of this week, test yourself. Because if you're not assessing, you're just guessing, right? So.
And if it's not on the list,
it doesn't exist.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. These are good, Stu. This one right here, I'm really digging.
It's fun.
Doing the giveaway thing. Because here's the beauty of the giveaway. In order to do the giveaway, you have to explain what you're giving away. And so the giveaway is always it's a commercial, but it's not a commercial because it's like, hey, I'm giving away something valuable. I got to tell you what the hell it is. So cool your jets if you think this is a commercial because it's not. Yeah, I'm digging that a lot. And so, okay, just to summarize Stu's list, cool intro hook. 2, encourage questions either at the beginning of the training and or before the training. Giveaway when you hear the word bump or when you see a picture of a chimpanzee or whatever, I could see doing that. Ask them questions. So I need to blank, tell me this blank, because that builds up participation, and participation is part of engagement.
Oh, sure.
And then leave them with a challenge or some sort of accountability at the end. I'm digging it. Okay. So let me share a couple of things that I came up with. I divided these into 3 sections. All right. And we have before the training, before this should sound really familiar to
Oh
you
yeah, I like it.
too.
Before, during, after. I
Before,
like it.
during, and after. Tell everybody why that's why we're giggling over that, because they might
Well,
not know.
it's like 3 phases of fitness. You know, when I'm dealing with people who are preparing for something before they get into the military, they have to take this fitness test. They have to specifically train for it. During, it's like, all right, so I got to train for boot camp now, and I have to train for, uh, some selection. And then after is like, you're an active duty operator. How does that look? That all 3 phases are different within in my world anyway. So there
So
you
is
go.
the tactical athlete the after?
Yeah, the more tactical athlete training is
Or
the
the
after.
ageless athlete
The
is
ageling
after?
athlete is like, yeah, phase 4 is the retirement, and
Yeah,
after your service, how do you, aging athlete is definitely after.
after. Okay, so before the training, we talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this, but we sell the result, not the topic. If you want people engaged, people buy because they're like really want to get the result, and they're really paying attention because they really, really want to get the result. The topic they can put into Chat GPT, Genie Chat, Gemini, Grok, Claude, and get an app, and Google, and get an avalanche of information on the topic. Nobody gives a crap about the topic anymore. All they care about is getting the result. So make sure that you are making a very specific promise that they are going to get that result, and then you're actually going to help them to achieve that result. Second thing that you can do is give them some sort of pre-event assignment. Now, not something that is going to piss them off or make them feel like they had to give up their summer Charlie Brown or anything like that, but literally something that is fun and simple. And you can do it with a video, but like a great example of that is before you get on the webinar, answer this one question. Okay. Why do you want this result? Why do you want to write a book? Why do you want to be a SEAL?
That's
Why do you
good.
want to get back in shape? Why do you want to learn how to make origami out of old Wrigley gum wrappers? Whatever it is, it makes them arrive mentally invested. So they want the result and they have verbalized why. Plus, this is simple because what you can also do at the beginning of the event, if they missed it or if they didn't do it, or you tell them right at the beginning, hey, you know what? This was a pre-event assignment. Some of you joined and had a bunch of people. Here's what I want you. We're going to take the next 2 minutes and I want you to write down, if you haven't already, why you want to be a Navy SEAL, why you want to write a book, why you want to learn how to create sales letters fast. What is that going to mean for you, your life, and your family? Let's go ahead and do that now. And once you've got it, if you want to share it in the chat, go ahead and do that now. And we'll share some of them. That creates engagement.
I like that.
All right. So always want to start with the why. The other thing that you can do to get engagement is to use your emails to begin. We'll call it email indoctrination before the event, sending out stuff like, you're not just sending out the login link. You want to remind them, okay, this is what we're going to accomplish. This is going to be the big result. Tell them what to bring if they need to bring something. Give them their little pre-event checklist. Share with them some case studies of people who have achieved it. Whatever you can do to make them anticipate this is going to be amazing and I'm going to get this really cool result and this is going to change my life, and I need to actually show up and participate. And if you do that, again, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. However, this is at a minimum, make sure they know where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, any tools or other things that they need to have. If there's a login, make sure that you've sent them their username and password or the login, and remind them, hey, go ahead and log in now to make sure you can log in, and all that other stuff, just to get the crap out of the way. Another thing that you can do ahead of time, and you got to be careful not to make it so that it looks like this is going to be going back to college, because you can flip people out with this last one. But if there's some sort of a workbook or worksheet that they're going to need ahead of time, if you can, give it to them ahead of time. Now, this can backfire a little bit if it looks too complicated. So don't be giving them a 50-page workbook up front that with shit that they got to fill out. Because
Right.
oh, I don't have time for this. Okay, I've learned that the hard way. Oh man, this looks great. Let me get a refund because I'm not going to have time to do this right now. And next time you do it live, let me know and I'll sign up again. That is a person justifying the fact that you freaked them out, and they're too embarrassed to say, this looks like too much work and I want my money back because I was hoping for something easy. So whatever it is, it should look like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And this is going to be something fun, not I'm going back to college. Is that any comments on any of these?
That's a good one. I like that.
Okay. So this fits, this is along the same lines of what you were talking about.
Oh, sure.
So now during the event, the first thing you want to do is understand that you got to give them something to do. That is the biggest thing. There's got to be something to do, and usually within the first 10 minutes. Okay. They got to do something. Now, if you're like, it's not that kind of thing, hey, I just told you something that they could do. Write down your why. That is something they can do in the first 10 minutes that will get them. Even if you can't have them do anything else, which is a problem, but even if you can have them do anything else, they can write down their why, because that's turning watching into doing. Next thing you want to do, or even before that, is you want to open with the promise. You want to reestablish the promise of the result. Hey, I know you're here to do this, and I want to let you know that we're here. I'm here to show you exactly why and how a book is going to revolutionize your business and turn you into the ultimate authority in your niche. And over the course of the next X amount of time, we're going to accomplish this, 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 and this. So make sure that you've got the phone turned off, the doors shut, the family knows not to come in and interrupt you because you're getting ready to change everybody's financial future. Make sure the Facebook is turned off and the email is closed. Put your phone on silent and let's do this.
Nice.
Now, you could take everything I just said there and substitute whatever your result is. I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to become a Navy SEAL and help you develop your own personal plan for how you're going to make that happen. And if you're serious about that, turn off the phone, turn off the this, close the door, no Instagram, and let's do this. So once you do that, and again, that can be before, once you do that, you've got their focused attention. We talked also about this next one. On the masterclass, but use the teach, demo, do format. What does that mean? It means I'm going to teach you something, then I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to do it. and then you're going to do it.
Nice.
And you're like, well, that's not what I'm teaching. Well, you better figure out, because you can't teach someone how to get a result without teaching them actions they need to take in order to do that.
Yeah.
So, even with Stu, teaching them how to get a whatever contract, you can show them, this is what has to happen in order for you to be able to do this. You have to reach this standard, this standard, this standard, this standard. So let me show you. I mean, you could use demonstration videos of exercises. You could use demonstration video, and demo is, a demo could also be a testimonial. It could be a case study, and then the doing it, they can at least write shit down. They can at least create a schedule. They can at least create a commitment. I'm committed to doing this every single day. If there's doing, there's actual action.
Nice.
So that's, again, we've talked about this. I think it was a couple weeks ago. We said, okay, what's the solution for all the AI slop that people can get? Be more human. Well, what do humans that get results do? They take action. They actually do stuff.
Yeah.
And you just talking about it isn't teaching. Talking about it isn't getting people a result. So, and we need to practice what we preach. So what I would tell all of you while you're going, well, this isn't a paid training. This is our podcast. So screw you. You got to come for the good. I mean, pay for the good. I'm just playing. But you should be thinking through your training. Okay. What's the result? What is an assignment I could give them? We gave it to you. Why do you want this result? Write it down. Know this before you come into the training. Right? What could you indoctrinate them with? You should be writing this down as we go through. Okay, so this is something that I know that some people, this pisses off. Some people in my life that I know very well, this pisses them off.
Okay.
However, get yeses as you go through. What does that mean? Does that make sense? Put yes in the chat right now. Put yes if you're tracking with what I'm saying. Put stuff. Okay, 3 different examples. Which one's the best? Put A, B, or C in the chat. Putting things where people have to react, people have to ask a question, give some feedback, make a comment, make a choice, put in a word. It works. And it's not just for manipulative sales webinars. It's to make sure that people are tracking and they're actually getting the result. This is something I've learned too. If you're actually doing like a workshop or a sprint or something, ask people, hey, put in your result. Do this. If you're coming up with a headline or this or whatever, a title or whatever, put it in. Let's see what's going on. If you're done, put yes in the chat so we can see where everybody is. If you need a little more time, put more time in the thing. One of the things that we do too, which is very useful and helpful. But one of the things that I've started doing a long time ago is putting a timer up on the screen. So this is a timer I got from Microsoft Power Tools or something. But you can put a screen. You just have a timer counting down when they're doing stuff on the screen. That adds something to the mix too, to get people to pay attention. Okay, so let's hurry up. Last, but certainly not least, the last couple. Another thing during and we talked about this when you're designing your training, but you can't read that, but it says milestones. So frequently help people know where they are in the process. At the beginning, you should be knowing, hey, here are the steps we're going to be going through. Here are the milestones we're going to reach. Boom. And that is something that you can refer back to as you reach each milestone, go back and say, hey, we did this. We've covered the before. Now we've covered the during. So now it's time to move on to the after. Even just doing that and reminding people, that helps them to get good results. Okay. So the last thing, couple things that you can do after is after the event, send a recap, send your cliff notes, send stuff to help them get results faster, better, easier with what you taught them. And if you do that, it will help them. If you give them a checklist, if you give them any kind of anything that they can use later, is extremely helpful. And then the last thing is, this goes right along with what you said, is a kind of a bonus one, because I said I had 10. Give them a reason to act in the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, like Stu said, that can be a challenge, but what we don't want is for them to get to the end of the training and then tell them, okay, now go think about this and go take action. That's weak as crap. So, you can ask them to submit something. You can ask them to post something, to book something, to watch something, to claim something. And whatever it is, it will help them start getting a result, finish getting the result, or wrap it up. And if you can do that, you're going to do a couple of really important things. One, you're going to get people results, so they're going to want to buy from you again, because you will be the exception to the rule, because most people spend money on crap they don't get results from. And number two, it will not only get the result, but increase your repeat buyers, because they'll keep buying from you again and again and again. Anything to add or talk about on these, Stu?
No, that's super thorough. I like the way you broke it down into the 3 phases of the presentation, of your training. That
cool.
Makes sense to me. So
one of the things that I'd like to do real quick, just do a quick demo, is show y'all. We don't have to use a timer, but imagine if there was an easy way to kind of figure out or brainstorm some of this stuff. So we're going to do that. This is the dynamic PowerPoint presentation Genie, and I did a demonstration of a presentation on my famous Hollywood roadkill secrets. And we have it did our intro, it did a basic presentation, slides, and I'm just going to grab this, and it'll do your handout and stuff. But I'm going to grab this, the notes, okay, from the outline for just a quick little presentation on it. I'm going to come over here to Genie Chat, and I'm just simply going to ask it. Here is an outline for my upcoming presentation on Hollywood roadkill secrets. It is a paid presentation that I'll be doing for my audience of adventurous cookers. And I would like for you to give me suggestions on things I could do to increase engagement specifically for this presentation, before the presentation, during the presentation, and after the presentation. So what I'm probably going to do is come up with a Genie prompt pack that would help make that better. But let's just see what it does. All right. Do 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 do. It'll do it quick. Here we go. All right. So before the presentation, do a pre-event survey. All right. Interactive social media campaign, teaser content, share short videos or infographics about roadkill cooking tips. That's pretty good. Email reminders with resources, a welcome kit, safety tips, legal reminders, checklist for potential roadkill fines. So depending on how much I did or didn't want to give out at the beginning, that would be good. But during the presentation, audience poll, interactive demo. Dude, can you imagine how impressive it would be to do the teach demo to like whip out full screen? Hey, check out this dead squirrel I just found this morning on my wall. We're going to prepare that sucker right now. Maybe a little bit much, but visual props, use engaging visuals like photos or video clips of roadkill cooking processes, Q&A session, after, do feedback forms, post-event Ooh, that's a great idea, dude. You could send them a recipe of the day for the week. You know, like hey, it's summer. Here are my best summer recipes based on what you're going to do. Online challenge. Hey, that just gave me an idea. What if everybody starts with a challenge? Dude, this is a for real idea. Okay.
Okay, I'm listening.
Everybody starts with a challenge and tries to sell a training. You know what I mean? What if you started with the training and then had an implementation challenge after?
Okay.
Dude. So what I'm saying is that everybody's challenge or whatever is usually some lightweight bullshit that trying to get you to buy the thing.
Right.
But what if you sold the thing and built a challenge on the back end, knowing that they were going to get the result, a real result? Does that make sense? So that would be like me selling a training on, I don't know, training on how to write a sales letter. And then on the back of that is a 5-day challenge to actually write the damn sales letter.
Love it.
That's an interesting anyway, so this is kind of cool because it definitely follows along with what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But it's giving specifics. And I think I need to turn this into a Genie prompt pack that goes with this thing. So, okay, cool. I'll work on that.
I got to remember visual aids.
Yeah.
Visual aids is a good one.
And there are a lot of actually cool ways to be able to do that. Let me write that down. Create a Genie prompt pack for engagement on the dynamic PowerPoint. Cool. Well, that was a good one. I hope you all enjoyed that. It's super important to be able to get your stuff engaged and get people engaging with what you got going on, because I'm telling you, that's I think that we'll finish up with that. But Stu, you said it best. The solution to more AI is to
be more human.
And what is more human than actually interacting with people?
That is it.
And one thing I will say is that the majority of these are increasing interaction to create engagement. So that's interesting. But I think that's a really cool lesson out of this, is if you want to be more human, create more engagement with people.
I like that. You know, I saw an article talking about this exact topic. Can't remember who showed it to me, but anyway, it was people are going to be wanting to seek out more human engagement, and he called it analog, right? Instead of digital, we're going back to analog, like drive-in movie theaters.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of streaming and just downloading it in your living room.
Yeah, I can handle a drive-in movie theater. I don't like regular movie theaters.
I don't either.
Stink and people cough and talk.
They chew popcorn too loud in my ear.
Answer their phones. Anyway, but we digress. So if they want to get in shape, Stu, where should they go? If they want to get the never quit mindset, where should they go?
StuSmithFitness.com. Never quit mindset's always there.
And if you want to get more goodies and you want to get access to the cool stuff that we got inside of CopyandContent.AI, definitely should. So that's a great wrapping up this month on paid trainings. I think next week we're still talking about this because it kind of wraps up the month before we kick into July. July is going to be, just so y'all know, July is going to be structured a little bit differently in Copy and Content. We're going to try out some cool new things, which is going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, we will see y'all next time. Take care, everybody.